We have some more breaking news coming in. Inside details of Yogi Adityanath's Cabinet 2.0, and we have now here on First on Times now the entire list of Yogi Adityanath's Cabinet. And according to sources, Keshav Prasad Maurya will be the Deputy Chief Minister along with Rajeshwar Patel, as we had been speculating. Along with that, we have a list of other 25 other ministers who will also be part of this massive cabinet. This includes Surya Pratap Shahi, Suresh Kumar Khanna, Swatantra Dev Singh, Srimati Baby Rani Maurya. We also have Lakshmi Narayan Chaudhary, Jaivir Singh, Dharmpal Singh, Narendra Gopal Gupta Nandi, Bhupendra Singh Chaudhary, Anil Rajbhar, Jitin Prasad, Rakesh Sachna. Also we have Arvind Kumar Sharma, Yogendra Upadhyay, Ashish Patel, Sanjay Nishad, Nitin Agrawal, Kapil Dev Agrawal, Ravindra Jaiswal. We also have Sandeep Singh, Gulab Devi, Girish Chandra Yadav, Dharmveer Prajapati, Aseem Arun, as well as JPS Rathod. That's the entire list that Times Now has now accessed exclusively here as far as Yogi Adityanath's Cabinet 2.0 is concerned, sticking to the two Deputy Chief Minister policy as far as the Cabinet is concerned. And we are seeing a replacement as far as Dinesh Sharma, who might not be a Deputy Chief Minister now, but in his replacement we have Rajeshwar Patel coming in and stepping in as the second Deputy Chief Minister of the state. And remember, interestingly, we have seen as to how, despite the fact that Keshav Prasad Maurya did not win the election this time, he lost. He has been once again given a chance and a berth as far as Yogi Adityanath's Cabinet 2.0 is concerned. That's the big update coming in, a list of ministers that has now been accessed here on Times Now. Meanwhile, shortly from now, we are also expecting the all-important historic swearing-in ceremony to also begin, which after 37 years, Yogi Adityanath is all set to become the first Chief Minister in the state of Uttar Pradesh to return as the Chief Minister. The BJP has certainly planned a grand star-studded event in Lucknow. Prime Minister Modi will be arriving at 3:30 p.m. at Lucknow Airport. Let me also now go across to Meghna joining us live from the news pit. Yes, Meghna, the entire list here on Times Now.
Absolutely, we have the entire list here on Times Now. The two Deputy Chief Ministers are going to be, interestingly, Keshav Prasad Maurya. He is going to be retained. Rajeshwar Patel is there. So who are going to be the ministers? You have Surya Pratap Shahi, you have Suresh Kumar Khanna, you have Swatantra Dev Singh, Baby Rani Maurya, of course, the governor who had quit her post so that she could come and contest in the elections. Then you also have Jaivir Singh, you have Lakshmi Narayan Chaudhary, you have Dharampal Singh, Nand Gopal Gupta Nandi, there is Bhupendra Singh Chaudhary, Anil Rajbhar is there, Jitin Prasada, of course, one of the big favorites. He is, of course, part of the cabinet also. He is going to be part of this. Then you also have Rakesh Sachan, Arvind Kumar Sharma, Yogendra Upadhyay, Ashish Patel, Sanjay Nishad of the AAP party. Then there is Nitin Agarwal, Kapil Dev Agarwal, Ravindra Jaiswal, Sandeep Singh. Now these are the Minister of State's independent charges which are going to be given to Gulab Devi of Dharampal Prajapati, Aseem Arun, as well as JPS Rathod. This is the entire list that Times Now has managed to access, 27 of them. This includes 2 of the Deputy Chief Ministers, the rest of them are ministers and ministers of state with independent charges. Back to you, Richa.
Alright, so let's take you now through the list that we have, the entire list of 18 ministers, and subsequently we have ministers with independent charge, and then we have the MOSs. So let's now run you through the list and why they have been included and what we know about them. So starting with Keshav Prasad Maurya and Rajeshwar Patel, both of them Deputy CMs, we've already spoken about that. Surya Pratap Shahi is going to be a minister. Shantanu Gupta, author, is here with us. Why is Surya Pratap Shahi in the cabinet and what is his importance?
I think Surya Pratap Shahi must be the, age-wise, experience-wise, must be the oldest experienced BJP politician from UP. He comes from East UP. He's been agriculture minister, had a good tenure. So I think he's just repeating a old guard. A couple of few old guards. He's one of them. Yeah.
So interesting that you have two very senior ministers over here, Surya Pratap Shahi, Suresh Khanna. Both of them are multiple time MLAs and their seniority has held them in good stead. Swatantra Dev Singh. Abhi tak he was till now he was the Pradesh Adhyaksh of the BJP. What about Swatantra Dev Singh? Qualified him. He's cabinet.
What is this list? Can I ask? Like, is it the official?
This is our list. This is our secret list.
Okay, this is a secret list. So Swatantra Dev Singh, I think, to my understanding, he always got lesser than his stature. Last time he got MOS independent. He was transport minister for 2 years, and then he was inducted as a state president. And this election was ran in his presidency. And yesterday, Amit Shah and Yogi Adityanath both gave him the credit that it ran under his.
Also, tell us a little bit, because yes, it is the importance of Swatantra Dev Singh in the organization, but he also fits right into the caste matrix.
Yeah, a lot of the people don't know he's not a Thakur, he's a Kurmi. So Swatantra Dev Singh comes from the Bundelkhand region. That's also very important.
Yeah.
Bundelkhand BJP won big. So he comes from Bundelkhand region. He has been the Yuva Morcha state president for almost 10 years. So he has an amazing connect with the party. I think he must be the only one who knows like every Karyakarta's name in whole of UP. I've traveled with him a couple of times. He amazed me every time. So I think it's a very good name.
Okay, Baby Rani.
Name was running for deputy CMship also till yesterday.
Well, when the final list is out, then you can give us credit on all other channels also, okay? He's a cabinet minister, we are telling you. Baby Rani Maurya, we've already spoken about. Lakshmi Narayan Chaudhary.
Yeah, I think this is a name. This is a name. He was not a minister earlier, right?
Yeah, he wasn't. He is important Jat leader, Western UP.
Because I think Suresh Rana lost, Sangeet Som lost. So I think you have to induct Jat leaders, right? Because Jat vote has increased. The vote share has increased for BJP.
Yeah.
ऐसा कहा जा रहा था कि oh my God, they will be washed off. 8 MLA नहीं आएंगे. Something you have to give. This is a good Jat representation from the West.
We'll quickly go through the list now. We have Javeer Singh, Dharampal Singh, Nand Gopal Nandi. Again, interesting.
Nand Gopal Nandi came from outside, became a very important leader from Prayag area. In fact, his wife is a mayor. I think she still is a mayor, and he won convincingly. A lot of people won with smaller margins from that region. In fact, Keshavji lost from that region. So I think it's a good name inducted back.
Bhupendra Chowdhary.
Bhupendra Chowdhary is back. I think he was a Panchayati Raj minister again. He is MLC come from West. He was the Kshetriya Adhyaksh of BJP. So I think he's
Anil Rajbhar again was expected last week.
Yeah. Anil Rajbhar is continuing. He was a minister, was sports, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's back.
And he was again, because you're trying to build a Rajbhar leadership. Earlier we had the Suhel Dev Bharatiya Samaj Party.
So then you not rely on this smaller party.
Why depend on OP Rajbhar? Why depend on OP Rajbhar?
Yeah.
You've got Rajbhar leaders of your own. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, he's one from a constituency very close to Banaras or Allahabad.
He's considered one of the Kashi region, and you'll see him many times in Prime Minister rallies. He moves with Prime Minister whenever he comes to Kashi. He moves with
Jitin Prasad again, not a surprise. Brahmin leader, Brahmin Mahasabha, cabinet. Acha, what about Rajesh, Sachan, Yogendra Upadhyay?
I think these are leaders. I was hearing these names. Must be, I think, the second name, the first time MLA. Let's see. I think a lot of Brahman names are getting.
Okay, Sanjay Nishad again, not a surprise. Ashish Patel, and we have Arvind Kumar Sharma.
Oh, Arvind Kumar Sharma is a cabinet minister. I think since the time Arvind Kumar Sharma ji landed in UP, I think.
So, for viewers who don't know the history, he's a former bureaucrat, considered to be very close to the Prime Minister. And then tell us, Shantanu, how he landed up in UP.
So he's a very senior bureaucrat. He worked in Gujarat with Prime Minister. He worked in the central government with Prime Minister. Last year, all of a sudden, when the MLC list came, one of the MLC list, he was the MLC. And then there were news after news that he may become the chief minister, he may become the deputy chief minister, and every theory was around. A lot of people say he's a Brahman, then people realize no, he's a Bhumihar, and every caste combination. Again, till yesterday, his name was there for deputy chief minister in multiple news items. But again, I think he's a good, experienced guy as a bureaucrat, and I think he's good.
So he's going to be a cabinet minister. Let me quickly give you an update. Big cries of Bharat Mata Ki Jai going up now. I think the Prime Minister must have left from the airport. News must have reached here, because I can see a considerable amount of activity all of a sudden. I think there on stage you've got, if I'm not mistaken, those are the local leaders who are now being felicitated. Very, very harsh sun, so I'm not entirely sure, but there is a felicitation of Karyakartas, local leaders taking place. Now we come back to the Rajya Mantri Swatantra Prabhar, which is that you have independent charge. Stay with me, please. I want to quickly cut across to Mr. Rajgopal and also joining us now from our studios. Nitin Agarwal, Kapil Dev Agrawal, Ravinder Jaiswal. These are the ministers with independent charge. Mr. Rajgopalan, first thoughts on these three.
These are all certain young new faces have come. The challenges before Mr. Yogi Adityanath is much more. That is why the former PMO bureaucrat A.K. Sharma has been inducted. Apart from that, things are going to be more challenging for Mr. Yogi Adityanath because he has to deliver the important the mandates what he has been given. Apart from that, Padmaja, the economic crisis is looming large in Uttar Pradesh. How they are going to manage it, we have to wait and watch. And more important is the film city, the Jewar airport. These are all certain economic packages which Mr. Yogi Adityanath announced during the election campaign. These are all certain things which Mr. Yogi Adityanath will have to concentrate much.
Yes. You know, I see a few notable exceptions here, but before I come to that, I can't seem to find neither Aparna Yadav nor Swati Singh. None of those people have found a place over here. Now if I go across to Sandeep Singh, Srimati Gulab Devi. What do you make of these two?
I think first of all, generally on the list also, right? So this list was discussed in what? Last 7-8 days. So I heard there were multiple deliberations. And last time I remember there were a couple of additions after 2 years and a couple of additions in the last year. Like the name Kapil Dev and Jaiswal. A lot of people from the trader community have also added. And Kapil Dev is a MLA from Saharanpur, if I'm not wrong. And he was the minister who was inducted just last time also 8 months back. So he's continuing. And it's a good MLA. Won again. Western region was difficult for BJP. A lot of ministers lost. So I think that's a good induction again. Yeah.
All right. So you have about 3 ladies that I have seen. Aseem Arun that we spoke of earlier, he's been given MOS status is what we are learning right now. Rajeshwar Singh I can't find in the list. Can't find Aparna Yadav in the list either. This is the first draft of the final list that we are breaking to you. Let's again reassert, this is 99% probables that we are telling you are going to be sworn in along with Yogi Adityanath in an hour from now. Remember, you heard it first on Times Now. I'm taking a very quick break. We have 10 more names waiting for you and one big surprise among them. So don't go anywhere.